Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. So in today's video, I will be covering something that really annoys the hell out of me. So, for context, Kaspersky Internet Security is my main antivirus. My family's been using that for years. It's sort of our go-to. And I've never really had any problems with it. It saved me numerous times from some really bad attacks when I was a little less careful than I should have been with downloading from, whatever. Sometimes we all mess up once in a while and download something that ends up being not what we thought it was. So it saved me numerous times from such attacks. And the great thing about it is it doesn't false alarm a lot, except on certain heavier activation cracks, which is a dangerous territory. Please, I'm not condoning piracy here, but I also don't blame you if you do it. It will false alarm on certain more serious activation cracks because often they're packed in a similar way to malware so that, opposing pirate groups don't copy each other's software. But usually with that, there are other ways to work out if that cracked software or whatever is safe. I'm not going to delve much into that, but anyways, for the most part, it doesn't false alarm as much. Now, as for Malwarebytes, look, it thinks Wild Tangent games are automatically adware. Now, the modern ones, I will go as far as to say yes. But these are my childhood ones. And it's not saying anything about the cracks I have on these. No. It just thinks that they're adware because they're Wild Tangent. And I just, one after the other, scan my C drive with both of these antivirus tools. Malwarebytes goes crazy. Kaspersky doesn't. And it gets spicier with Malwarebytes. Let me show you. Scroll down. Yeah, it's detecting all of this. All that Wild Tangent stuff is adware. Now, okay, Game Trainer from a legitimate source. Again, Game Trainers, low orbit ion cannon. It's safe, but can be used for illegal purposes, aka DOSing websites. Do not use it for that. I am an ethical script kiddie. I usually hack either, or I wouldn't call it hacking, but I usually, use these attack tools on my own hardware or my family's hardware with their consent. So, yeah, please don't use that for anything illicit, but I'm okay with Malwarebytes and Kaspersky detecting that. Kaspersky detects it, but I added it to the exceptions. Let's see what we got here. More trainers. Okay, so yeah. These are just some privacy settings they have in, I believe, either WPD or ONO Setup 10 because, well, yeah, or WinArrow Tweaker. It's just, I like nuking Microsoft's security stuff in there because it sucks and it spies on you big time. Defender control, same crap, so false detection on that. Okay, so the KMS stuff, well, this particular one I don't think is malware. Kaspersky will detect if a Windows crack is malware. Now, I didn't put this Windows crack. Normally, I prefer to have a legal copy of Windows, but of course, the person that sold me this used laptop could not be bothered. This thing came with a Windows 10 home license in the BIOS. It still has it, but he installed Windows 10 Pro. I had a quick look at the source of that crack. Not the source code, but where it's from. I think it's safe. I might buy a legit license at some point. But, everything works fine. And I really don't want to mess up my activation. This computer is really important to me. So, yeah. Again, eh, even this could be okay because a lot of times an unsuspecting customer might buy a computer from an independent shop and it might come with a cracked copy of Windows, and maybe they were charged for a legal copy, but then they put the crack to, make a quick buck there. And, yeah, what is this? Oh, this is false alarming on one of those, demo scene tools. You probably, if you know anything about demo scene stuff, you probably know what Werkzeug was for. It's for I think it was used for like the K. Krieger demo and stuff like that. That's a famous tool. I got it from the original source, but it thinks it's some sort of malware. And if you can see here, it's some sort of malpack thingy. Now, I won't bother looking up what this is, but the minute it mentions malpack, that's definitely just something packed like malware. It's probably, again, an anti-reverse engineering thing, just like with activation cracks for certain programs and stuff. So, yeah. Malwarebytes false alarms so much. I mean, now, I'm not telling you to ignore what Malwarebytes says if you use this, but think a little critically. If you got the software from the original source or whatever, or you otherwise trust it in any way, it's probably safe. But if you're not a tech-savvy user with years of experience with computer security, and mind you, I'm extremely paranoid about this type of stuff. If you aren't like me and don't have years of experience with this stuff, do not ignore your antivirus, whether it's Kaspersky, whether it's Malwarebytes. But, yeah. I mean, earlier detected 281, I think. It says 281 right there. This is ridiculous. And mind you, on Kaspersky, I set it to extreme security mode. That's why it says custom scan, because instead of running a full scan, I just want to scan my C drive for malware, and this also scans, this Malwarebytes by default scans the C drive, or so it seems. Yeah. That custom scans, that right click on the drive scan. I configured that to extreme security. And Kaspersky says it's clean. Meanwhile, yeah. I mean, the only reason I have Malwarebytes is usually to get a second opinion on files that I'm really not sure about, and for privacy reasons, or because I'm too lazy. Maybe they're like really big and take a while to upload. Won't put to VirusTotal. Sometimes I use if someone sends me a document or something, like, if an internet friend sends me a PDF or something, I'll scan it with both things, and, that kind of thing, without, having to make it publicly accessible or whatever through VirusTotal. Plus, sometimes things are over 500 megs, and I think that's the limit on VirusTotal, so, again, yeah, I really wish the security software industry would do something about these false alarms, but everyone's engines are so freaking different and designed, like, literally to false alarm. Like, if I let this thing clean all the threats, I mean, it would delete all my game trainers, which are, for the most part, Flink trainers, or stuff from other legitimate game trainer sites. It would also ruin my Windows activation for good, although that pirated situation I will probably have fixed later, but I just don't have the money to buy a legal copy, no matter how much I want one. So yeah, thanks for watching my little rant here. I mean, now, I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I would personally highly recommend Kaspersky over, honestly, any other security software. I have, in the years I've been using this, hardly ever had any sort of serious infection, and it's never been as serious as before I started using Kaspersky. Like, I remember, like, when I was a little kid, I was super uncareful with downloads because I didn't know how to avoid fake download buttons, and I had a crappy antivirus, namely Avira, that I never bothered to update because the updater was broken on it, and I got so much malware. But then I had Windows reinstalled and got Kaspersky, from my dad, and bam, never had any sort of serious problems. So yeah, not to mention a free version of Malwarebytes doesn't have nearly as much as, heck, even the paid version, as far as I know, doesn't have as serious protection as Kaspersky Internet Security. I mean, yeah, I'm a bit of a shill for this stuff, but I'm just giving you my experience. Malwarebytes is sort of more for the average user. I mean, if an average user that just browses Facebook and internet stuff and doesn't really, play with nerdy stuff like game hacking tools, um, script kiddie stuff and so on, then Malwarebytes is a good choice, especially if they want to like check whether their Windows is legit. So, in case, that's my rant for today. Rant over. Yeah, so that'll be about it.